Prime Minister Narendra Modi is reaching Bali on Monday night to take part in this year's G20 summit level talks. Prime Minister will have participation in 3 sessions focused on health, energy and food supplies across the globe. In the aftermath of COVID pandemic, the world has witnessed the need to create a resilient infrastructure in health sector. Also, in the aftermath of Russia-Ukraine conflict and the COVID pandemic, on top of that, has been a very challenging times if we talk about supply chain disruptions in all sectors of manufacturing. Key components are unavailable in the world market. The food supply is in short. The price of commodities, international commodities, especially crude oil, has skyrocketed, putting inflationary pressure across the economies in the globe. Also, the availability of fertilizer and the conflicting situations in some part of the globe has been a worry for the G20 Leaders Summit. Will the G20 leaders talk about these issues, how the problems should be solved? For this time, India is going to have a very important participation because India is going to have the presidency of G20 23. Starting from December 1st, India will be part of Troika, that will be Indonesia, India and the 2024 presidency, Brazil. Prime Minister Modi has earlier outlined his priorities for G20 23 presidency when he has said that health infrastructure is one of the key components of the world discussion that leader should focus. Prime Minister will also have several bilateral talks with leaders from G20 members, including there has been talks about US President Joe Biden expressing his eagerness to meet Prime Minister Modi. There is also talk about Prime Minister meeting UK's newly elected Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. French President Emmanuel Macron is also on the probable list of having a bilateral with Prime Minister Modi. Whether Prime Minister will be having a bilateral talk with China's President Xi Jinping remains a big question because of the past history and the recent souring of ties between India and China, especially in the aftermath of Galwan. Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping, Chinese President, they have not had any personal meeting so far. This summit is also going to have many upcoming challenges on the discussion table, including the climate change talk. We have seen how in the last 2 decades at least, world has witnessed a lot of issues that were not as challenging as concerning 2 decades ago, when actually this whole G20 setup was conceived. We have seen the climate change issue becoming one of the key area of concern for the world leaders, and the sustainable development goal is also another area of interest. There is a thing that developing countries, they had promised that a lot of funding will be done in order to have a sustainable development goal achieved, because the many underdeveloped countries or developing countries, they do not have enough resources, means or the expertise which developed countries have. So there has been talk about sharing expertise and sharing means and resources so that the world as a family can grow and prosper together, at the same time keeping the climate worries under control. We'll have to see how this year's G20 summit in Bali solves these problems or comes out with some forward-looking proposals, so that when India will have the presidency in 2023, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be highlighting all those issues of climate change, sustainable goal development, and issues of health infrastructure, issues of peace and prosperity as a collective one world, one family. Abhishek Jha, CNN News 18, Bali.